Good afternoon, welcome to Meets Rod Shop. I'm Jason. Today we're just going to do a quick rundown of my 1970 Mach 1 Mustang, affectionately called Mabel. It's an M-code car. It was originally sunflower yellow. It has had one repaint. It's now a black on black car. It's 351 Cleveland, FMX, AC, power disc brakes in the front, drum in the back, power steering. Other than that, it's not really a highly optioned car. I think it is an original shaker car though, which is nice to see. It does have the fold down back seats, and it does have aftermarket louvers and an aftermarket spoiler on the back. So we'll just do a quick rundown. I'll walk you around the car, maybe let you see inside a little bit, pop the hood, and I'm going to try and get it on the lift for you and let you see up underneath there. We'll tell a few of the upgrades that's been done to this car. It's not completely stock, but it is slow. So with that, let's get moving. Okay, we'll go ahead and do a quick walk around on the outside here. Like I said, it's a black on black car. It is an M-code car. It has the Shelby aftermarket knockoff Shelby wheels, I should say. It's 17 by 10 in the rear, and I believe 17 by 8 up front. The car has been lowered a couple inches in the back, and I believe an inch and a half in the front. I did purchase the car this way. This is my bought, not built car. So just a quick walk around the back so you can see the aftermarket spoiler and the aftermarket louvers. In the state of Georgia here, you are allowed to have a year of the car license plate. So I've got a Georgia 1970 plate on the car here. Alright, so here's the power barn, as they say. It's a 351 Cleveland. It does have 4-barrel heads on it. It is an original 4-barrel car. The engine is 30 thousandths over. The heads have been decked 8 thousandths. I did just rebuild this engine. You can see it in one of my earlier videos. But it is a shaker car. It does have a Mallory Unilite distributor in there, and I am running an older MSD box as well as the Jacobs coil right here. You can see it is an AC car, and one of the upgrades I actually just did to this car yesterday, it's hard to see in there, but you can see it's got a 3G alternator off of a 94-95 Mustang GT, and I am running dual Permacool 2300 CFM fans, so it should be 4600 CFM, and they are mounted on a big block 4-core aluminum radiator on this car. I did have some cooling issues in this car originally, so I put a bigger radiator in there. It has a flow cooler aluminum water pump on there, supposed to flow a little bit more water. So due to the fans pulling a lot of power, I went ahead and upgraded the alternator yesterday. One of the things you have to do, and excuse, it looks like a wire bomb went off in here. There's some cleaning up of the wires I need to do. But over here you see the PA Performance External Voltage Regulator. It's not needed because the 3G alternators are internally regulated. But to keep the gauge working in the car for the amperage, and also the retain a factory wiring is why I ran that box. So it does also have Edelbrock, can't really see it, but it's an Edelbrock Performer aluminum intake. It is a square bore. The car, when I bought it, it had a 72 Boss block in there, and it had a Buddy Bar Quadrajet spread bore intake on there. So part of the cooling issues, tearing the engine down, everything else, I went with a square bore intake just because it's so much easier in carburetor selection. And soon this car will be getting EFI. So down here it's kind of hard to see, but you can see that it's got an aftermarket power steering pump. The reason for that aftermarket power steering pump is this is a rack and pinion car now. They took out the original steering box, the hydraulic assist box, and went with a aftermarket rack and pinion. Alright, so that's exterior walk around on this car. Let me get it situated on the lift, and then I'll bring you up underneath there. We'll show you the rack and peering setup on this car, and show you underneath how I hooked up the radiator cooling fans. So we'll give you a quick walk around while it's on the lift. Alright, I've got Mabel up on the lift. We'll go ahead and we'll look up underneath there and show you a little bit about the car. Alright, up under the car you can see it is a Ford 9-inch. It has a 3.0 gear on it. You can see the Blowmaster 2 chambers on there. And I was incorrect. I'm running a 9-inch wheel in the back, so it's a 275 35 if I am correct. Excuse me, 275 40 17. Alright, up underneath the car here more, you can see it's an FMX transmission. So one of the major differences in the FMX and the C4s is the FMX has an aluminum bell housing mounted to a cast iron case. They're actually a pretty good transmission. You know, this one's got a shift kit in it. It has been recently rebuilt. It shifts out pretty good, but I will be sticking an AOD in this car. And there you can see the rack and pinion setup that's on the car. These cars originally came with a hydraulic power assist, so you had the old style Ford gearbox. You can see the connection there. But so you had the old style Ford gearbox that had a ram, a hydraulic ram. On these cars it was notorious for leaking. So this car's actually got an aftermarket rack and pinion. I don't know the make, I don't know who makes it, but it does give the car a better feel on this. And I am running Hawk HPS pads on the front of this car, so she stops pretty good. So moving forward to 351 Cleveland, you can see there's the oil pan, the bottom of the engine there. On this side of the engine you can see I've got an aftermarket Power Master. It's a gear reduction high torque starter. This car, when I bought it, had a 12.5 to 1 compression engine in there. It was a little hard to start on the factory starter, so I went ahead and upgraded that. Coming around here, you can see the front of the car, front of the engine. You can see the aluminum radiator there and some wiring I got to clean up for my fans I just installed yesterday. So that's pretty much it for the bottom of the car. Alright, we've got Mabel off the lift, so what I'll do now is I'll take you down off the tripod there, I'll bring you inside the car, we'll do a quick walk around on the inside of the car. Inside here, just the standard Mustang interior, black interior. You see I got a small tack on the dash, just to help me see what the tack is, see what the RPMs are. I did install some aftermarket water temp oil pressure gauges for it. Here you can see the standard Mach 1 clock that sits on the passenger side. Of course mine, like everybody else's, doesn't work either. In the back you can see it's just got the standard Mach 1 interior. It does have the fold down seats though, which is nice. There you can see that's what the seats folded down. It does have the hatch that pops open in the trunk as well. Alright, so that's it for the walk around of my 1970 Mach 1 Mustang called Mabel. It's had a few upgrades on it. Like I said, I showed you it's got the 3G alternator in there. That's because I'm running those dual electric fans, and the car is going to be getting an EFI set up here pretty soon. It'll probably be a Holley Holley Sniper, because I've got two Phi-Tech units already on different cars, and I wanted to try out the Holley Sniper. So the plans are to install one of those units. So I needed the extra amperage output for that 3G alternator. Puts out 130 amps. It's got the two electric cooling fan upgrade, 2300 CFM each fans in there. It's got the big block 4-core aluminum radiator. It's got bigger wheels and tires than factory that are on the car. But it's a nice cruiser car. She's a little bit slow, but I didn't get her to be fast. I've got other cars for that. So, but hopefully next year you'll see this car in a power tour. Won't be putting down any impressive times or anything like that. It'll probably be high 15 seconds, maybe even low 16-second quarter miles, from what I can tell. Like I said, the car is pretty slow. It's got that 3.0 gear in there, which doesn't help, but when I put the AOD transmission in this car, I will be stepping up to a 350 gear or 370, maybe even. I haven't decided which one yet. We'll have to look at the ratios that come out of that AOD. But that's it. I appreciate you stopping in and checking out the video. Subscribe. If you want to see more videos of this car, there'll be some coming out, especially when I do the Holley EFI installation and the AOD installation on this. I got some other, I'll probably put my 71 Dodge Dart, I'll probably bring that in next, do a little walk around on that. So I appreciate it. Have a good day. Thank you. Remember, keep your head up and your stick on the ice.